So if I hit F5 and I keep on going, notice that we're changing this letter X now to change it to Y and so on. It'll just keep on going, and this address keeps on moving across, doesn't it? Now it's clear down here. Was that memory that we allocated? No. Wasn't any memory that we allocated at all, but we're putting stuff in there just like we owned it. And it's letting me do that, at least for now. Take the breakpoint off, and so it writes all of that stuff out there until it went to an FF, incremented it, and became 0. Is that clear? All so far, all perfectly legal. Nothing, not a problem. But all of this memory after this spot was memory, no, not that spot, sorry. After this spot was memory that doesn't belong to me. It's on the heap, but it doesn't belong to me. I wasn't given that memory. So now, if we look at temp, temp is the original address, isn't it? Where our destination was. Temp is that original address, but we're going to try and delete 4 bytes. We're going to return it back to the heap. So when I hit F5, what's going to happen? I'm going to get some kind of a message that says, but Mr. Metzler, I don't understand what that says. I guarantee you, you're going to get this somewhere along the line in this term. So I want you to remember this point. What does that say to you? This may be due to a corruption of the heap, which indicates a bug. Oh, thanks a lot. Can't you point me to where the problem is? Yeah, it does, if you understand what we just did. We corrupted the heap, didn't we? Because we wrote into area that we didn't have permission to write into. Okay? And the last thing you want to do is ignore. You probably don't want to continue because it's not going to work right. So we'll take a break here and notice that we're about to leave a critical area, namely with the heap management, and so it takes us here. Well, about the best thing you can do at this point is just say stop debugging and close down wherever it trapped it. Okay. Questions with that? I made a mistake. I didn't mean to have these parens there. I didn't decipher it quite correctly. But there it is, and it ran something, and it gave me an error, and I can't figure out what the error is. And I'm going to be up all night pulling my hair out and doing all those things. Okay? All right. Can you write this code less compactly? What we want to assign from here to there is what? The content of the location pointed at by PTR1 is what we want to assign over here. So what that would look like is splat dy PTR1 gets splat PTR1. Is that right? Why the splat on the left-hand side? If I left the splat on the left-hand side off, where would I be assigning this? No idea. Neither does the compiler. Actually, the compiler and the runtime environment knows where, but you're going to get a compilation error if you try to do this because the data types are not matching. The right-hand side yields a what? A character, doesn't it? Yields a character. Without the splat on the left-hand side, what does it yield? An address, a 32-bit quantity, 4-byte address. Mismatch in data types. So the compiler is going to give me a problem. If I did this, left the splat out on that side, what's going to happen now? I got a problem again. On the right-hand side, I've got a 32-bit quantity, the content of PTR1. Assigning that into something that's only 8 bits long, 1 byte long. 4 bytes, I'm sorry to say, 4 bytes won't fit into 1 byte. Okay? This doesn't happen. Nor does 1 byte fit into 4 bytes. We can stretch it, but we have to tell it how to stretch it. All right, so we know that that assignment is what we want to do repetitively. In addition to that assignment, we want to increment both pointers, right? Then do I have to do a post increment? Can I do a pre-increment?
Where you're putting it, it doesn't matter.
Does it make any difference in this context which one I do? None whatsoever, because that's the only thing on that line, isn't it? Now if I did this, can I do that? Syntactically, will that be all right?
Just increment it twice.
Incrementing twice, it's going to give me a syntax error actually. Okay? And the red line tells me that. Now I could fix that.
Parentheses.
Do it that way. Is that a problem? Is it any different than what I just had? None. Except where we put the plus plus. How about, well, you know that dy ptr1 equals dy ptr1 plus 1, right? Do the same thing. Now, why is this here? Why do we put that? Why is it really important to do that? Kenan?
So you don't lose the initial memory address?
I need to know what to delete when I'm done, right? And I'm incrementing pointers all over the place. Somebody over here increments it, somebody over here increments it, somebody over here decrements it because I want to back up and splat something in between something. I'm moving these things all around. Where was my hand when I started? I don't remember. But if I save it here and I keep it there, I don't change temp, then I can come back and say, oh, yeah, all right, I messed around with that stuff. I moved the pointers all around, but it was the same chunk of memory that I was working with. And now I want to get rid of it. Is that clear? Got it? Okay. What is this going to do? Delete PTR chars. Now, what was PTR chars? Oh, here it is. PTR chars is a pointer to a whole bunch of characters. Whatever chars was, that's not a data type, it's a variable name. Chars was a pointer to this variable called out, which contained VOBB plus 1, so that was 5 long. Pointer to a chunk of memory 5 long. So, oh, we forgot to delete with the square brackets here. Is it going to cause a syntax error? Is it going to not compile? It says, okay, I can compile. I can do that for you. No problem. However, what actually gets deleted?
Just the first one.
1 byte of memory, right? The first one. The other 4